Hi guys, my name is James, and today is day 133, slowly approaching our 20th week in our seemingly unending lockdown here in Metro Manila and elsewhere in the country, which the government fancied it as a quarantine, a general community quarantine in most places, modified enhanced quarantine in more serious areas in the country. But this what it is. It is a lockdown. Now, I don't feel particular in the mood, more so now than in my previous updates. Ever since I started doing this series of vlogs covering the pandemic, uh, it's the country has seen the a lot of defeats in the way our democracy has been attacked. We've dealt a lot of blows from the past 7 days alone. Uh, I've just and I'm right now I'm still feeling the chilling effects of those actions from the past week. Um, where do I start exactly? Okay, perhaps the Friday before it this week, July 5th. Let me check my July the 10th. Okay, July the 10th. Uh, the 10th of July 10, the lower house of Congress, the Philippine House of Representatives, particularly the Committee on Franchises, I believe that's the name. They voted 70 to 11 to not grant the media company ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corporation a franchise to operate its scores of television and radio stations scattered all over the country, despite the fact that we're in the midst of a pandemic, despite the fact that not operating with a franchise would mean the loss of thousands and thousands of jobs, approximately 11,000, and that would mean also the loss of the people's loss of access to information and entertainment on the only from the only broadcaster in the country that has far-reaching coverage than any other competing broadcast entity. Sorry, medyo nabubulol ako. So yeah, it's the feeling I have right now. It's very undescribable. I cannot really explain it, except the better way to describe this as deep sadness, because I feel for the people who have lost their jobs. I feel for those who fought so hard to keep this company afloat despite the odds that were stacked against them. And as a citizen of this country, I feel as though I feel attacked because our democracy is being attacked. It's being undermined by forces who thought of taking advantage of a situation that was well beyond everyone's control and to make it all about them. I don't know if I should say hate, but I feel anger towards those 70 congresspeople who opted to be extremely biased with their decision making in not in their decision to whether or not grant this embattled media corporation a franchise, a license to operate after 25 years. And this despite the overwhelming fact that no violation of the law was ever made. It's quite evident that all the things that they were accused of, they were clear proof of evidence that they did not make those they did not make those violations. They didn't violate anything. Um, they've paid their taxes. They also were in line with employment policies set forth by the Department of Labor and Employment. So there may be some smaller issues with labor, but these are things that can be taken care of while the company is can be is being is still had the company continue to operate. And yeah, and those small things, I don't know why it makes me so angry, because uh, I've been because I'm not able to watch the 10 or 12 hours of those congressional hearings, which ultimately led to the decision to not grant ABS-CBN the license to operate. So anyway, I don't have time to watch those hearings. So I only got So I only read about the highlights of what happened, and it annoys me that a lot of the questions thrown by these representatives, these duly elected representatives, to serve the people they represent, the sectors they represent, that were mostly very these are very these are very trivial questions, like, why are you not giving me a good angle? Why are you not providing why are you not reporting any good news about what I've done about this, about what I've done about that? Why are you always reporting about the bad things happening in our country, in my constituency? Those are things that just shows how much of an actual bad person they are as politicians, as people who are meant to serve the the rest of the population. It annoys me that they all are beholden to the high and mighty president of ours. And it saddens me up to this day about hearing news of the layoffs that the company was forced to do in order to keep itself afloat, from all major departments of the broadcaster. From publishing, I believe they are being let go. The cable side, from the CPI, they're also being let go. The sports division is also being let go. Employees of the regional network group are also being let go. And I think afterwards, I think the only thing left now are the ones who are running their set of cable channels. I'm not sure of the specifics, but let's just say about a rough estimate, about 50 to 80% of their workforce have been laid off. Not particular accurate statistic, but that's my estimate. I probably have to look into this after this recording. And speaking of, today, July 18, 2020, marks the first official day for which the recently signed anti-terrorism law of 2020 takes into effect. There are, as I've mentioned last time, there are provisions of the law when it was still a bill pending Congress that are very questionable, that seem to goes against what the ideals of the democratic ideals upheld by the Philippine Constitution of 1987. And lots of people have filed cases against the implementation of the law before the Supreme Court to rule that this anti-terrorism law, is considered unconstitutional. It is against the rights of Philippine citizens and these are against the very basic human rights that we all have across the land. So, for example, if it makes it easy for the state to accuse to arrest me if they believe that I am a person of interest, if I were a sympathizer to enemies of the state just because I'm friends with this person who is more affiliate than I am, to a cause that is being tagged as against the government, against the state, then they could easily haul me in, uh, take me off my home and be questioned. So these are this is an example at the top of my head at the moment, but you get the picture that this is not something that we should feel secure about. Because as much as I want a law that will protect the citizens, our country's citizens from attacks from outside forces, but I would much prefer a law that is of the interest of the people and not of the few. And I see this law as a law that would only benefit the few in this country. And even if they say their words that we should have nothing to worry about, this law is very open to abuse. There is no doubt about that, and it makes me worried about what we're in for, especially while in the middle of a pandemic. They could do anything they want to do that would simply make life even harder than it already is. Our life was already hard before the pandemic, and now they're making things even more harder. It's more than just about the antiterrorism law anymore. Everything that we want to do to survive this pandemic, they've been really trying to make it hard for us to be resilient. We've been on lockdown for how many weeks now? 20 weeks. While there have been some easements here and there, especially here in Metro Manila, it seems like there's nothing has been done to control the pandemic in any sort of way. All I see are continued reports of more infections, more positive cases, the total number of recoveries, the number of deaths. It doesn't make me feel confident about the government's efforts to contain this if much of their attention is elsewhere. And looking at the efforts done by the governments of our neighbors from Vietnam, Thailand, and Singapore, they've done a much better job. And we're supposedly have the largest and we supposedly produce a large contingent of medical professionals, especially nurses. But apparently we don't have enough nurses to help in the effort of taking care of our infected. And now I'm hearing news that many of the major hospitals in the National Capital Region is nearing or are already in full capacity, so they can't take any more infectees, any more of the infected into their wards. So they are redirecting to other hospitals that are also about to be in full capacity. I'm not sure of the situation outside of Metro Manila, elsewhere in Luzon, in Visayas, in Mindanao, and our surrounding islands and territories. But it's suffice to say that our healthcare system is already at the brink of despair. It's already been overwhelmed, and I don't know if there's anything that we could do apart from actually following the rules of social distancing and staying indoors, which we are. Many of us are, but it's difficult when things like this are not being, and not just from other citizens who may not feel compelled to follow social distancing regulations, but also if we see our leaders not also following the rules, and not just government officials but also members of our police force with their mañanitas and them everything else. Let's just put it at that. I'm not gonna uh, put it into much detail then, because it's easier to say the plurality of it, that our government are not exemplifying what they are supposed, what the public are supposed to follow in this nation, in this global crisis. So the only thing we can do as citizens of this country, our beloved Philippines, is to hold our elected officials, our government leaders, and all other persons of authority accountable to their actions, and to make sure that they serve the people they are meant to serve. All Filipinos, all everyone affected by this pandemic, and do the right thing. That, and serve for others instead of serving themselves. So right now, I've been thinking of discontinuing my vlogs for now, at least in terms of covering the pandemic, because it's been 20 weeks and not much has changed at the moment. But it's also to give me some time to do this project that I've been wanting to do here at home. It's a little something that I've been cooking up this past several months, and I hope that I could be able to have this done at least before the end of the year. Although my target is before my 30th birthday, because I'll be turning 30 very very soon, and I want to make it very special, because it's a very momentous moment in anyone's life, reaching that point in their lives. So yeah, this could be the last time I'll be doing this for now. So I would like to thank everyone who has been watching these vlogs, J-vlogs, and to see me rant, rumble, and mumble, and stutter on the things that matter to me. And other than that, you can also catch me in my other channel, James Aprendiz Español, where I explore life after learning Spanish in class. I'm trying my best to continue learning this language despite not enrolled to a school at the moment because of this pandemic. So it's pretty exciting. So yeah, thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Hasta luego. Adios. Paalam. Adieu. Bye.